My God, I hate drugs.
The world is still stunned after the death of beloved chef, writer, and TV host Anthony Bourdain. The creative mind behind CNN's Parts Unknown was in France filming an upcoming episode when he took his own life. Tributes are pouring in from those who knew him best and from fans who admired his ability to find humanity in every far-flung place he visited by connecting over a meal. Here's CNN's Erica Hill.
I don't even know what this is. I love you, noodles.
Called the original rock star of the culinary world, the Elvis of bad boy chefs, Anthony Bourdain was a cultural icon.
Ooh, delicious.
His mission, to explore the world, meet the most interesting people, and of course, find the best food.
We ask very simple questions. What makes you happy? What do you eat? What do you like to cook? And everywhere in the world we go and ask these very simple questions, we tend to get some really astonishing answers.
Born in New York and raised in New Jersey, Anthony Bourdain began working in kitchens as a teenager, eventually becoming a celebrity chef.
Going to 73 side of Au Poivre.
A best-selling author and TV host.
What'd you think? I loved it.
Behind the success, Bourdain struggled with demons, including an addiction to heroin, which he says began in a Cape Cod restaurant when he was just 17.
There was some dark genie inside me that I very much hesitate to call a disease that led me to dope.
Bourdain spoke openly about his struggles and about the person who inspired him to do better.
I have a 7-year-old daughter now who I never would have had. I never would have thought. I looked in a mirror and I saw somebody worth saving. Or that I wanted to at least try real hard and save.
Using his celebrity to raise awareness about opioid addiction. Along with his advocacy, Bourdain remained a passionate explorer, bringing his adventurous spirit to CNN in 2013, where he shared his insatiable curiosity with audiences around the world on his series, Parts Unknown.
All right, you're gonna have to...
I will walk you through.
You're gonna have to walk me through this.
Former President Obama, who joined Bourdain on Parts Unknown in Vietnam, tweeting, "He taught us about food, but more importantly, about its ability to bring us together, to make us a little less afraid of the unknown."
People tend to be proud of their food. They let their guard down when they talk to you. You see them at their most vulnerable and revealing in a lot of ways. So even people with whom you have really fundamental disagreements and maybe even complete different belief systems, if you're going to intersect anywhere, it's going to be over food.
Ah, the real deal.
Erica Hill, CNN, New York.
More tributes from his colleagues on Instagram. CNN anchor Anderson Cooper posted Bourdain's photo, which he says hangs directly outside their control room in New York. His caption reads, quote, "Today we have lost a friend, a travel companion who was always up for adventure and one of this country's greatest storytellers." CNN chief international correspondent Christiane Amanpour says her heart breaks for Bourdain. She describes him as having a huge personality, giant talent, unique voice, and someone who is deeply, deeply human. Celebrity chef Jamie Oliver was shocked by the news. He says, quote, "He pushed the culinary conversation and was the most brilliant writer. He leaves chefs and fans around the world with a massive foodie hole that simply can't be replaced." Gordon Ramsay has nothing but praises for Bourdain, whom he says brought the world into our homes and inspired people to explore cultures and cities through food. He also reminds everyone help is always a phone call away. Bourdain's girlfriend, Asia Argento, meanwhile says Bourdain gave all of himself in everything that he did. The Italian actress adds, quote, "His brilliant, fearless spirit touched and inspired so many, and his generosity knew no bounds. He was my love, my rock, my protector. I am beyond devastated." Recently, Anthony Bourdain had emerged as a leading male voice in support of the Me Too movement in the wake of sexual abuse allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Argento was among those victimized by the movie mogul. Bourdain's death comes just 3 days after fashion designer Kate Spade died also of suicide. Spade, who was 55, was found dead in her New York apartment Tuesday, and she left a note. Her sister revealed she may have had bipolar disorder and that she didn't want to seek treatment for mental illness. But Spade's family is disputing her sister's claims. The famed designer leaves behind a husband and a 13-year-old daughter. More than ever, depression and suicide has gained more attention in recent days. Suicide prevention advocates encourage the public to reach out to their loved ones, especially those showing signs of or suffering from depression. Jean Goldburn of the Natasha Goldburn Foundation says the number of calls in their hotlines escalate every time there are high-profile suicide cases. She says they received 90 calls on Friday, more than double the normal 40 calls they receive daily. Goldburn lost a daughter to suicide in 2002. She has some reminders for those battling depression.
One of the most important things that we're being taught now is music therapy. Listening to music and journaling the feelings. So if you're sad, within 30 minutes of being able to write down your feelings, that's one of the biggest support and help. What's most important is mindfulness. It is the ability to be able to take 10 deep breaths, sit down in quiet, and just keep on breathing very, very slowly to remove the anxiety.
For those battling depression and anxiety, know that there are people who can help. Don't hesitate to talk to someone, or you can pick up the phone and call the 24/7 Hope line. The numbers are flashed on your screen. Still to come, we pay tribute to Philippines in the news. The court allows 5 NDF consultants to join the peace talks in the Netherlands. Informal talks with the communist group are set to resume in 2 weeks. It's off to the Supreme Court for the camp of Mary Jane Veloso, who's on death row in Indonesia. This after her appeal to testify against her recruiters was rejected. And we remember the life of Anthony Bourdain, who brought the world together through food, travel, and his brilliant storytelling. Good evening, I'm Maya Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us. 5 consultants of the National Democratic Front may go to the Netherlands to attend peace talks with the government. The Manila RTC Branch 32 granted provisional liberty to Benito Tiamzon, Adalberto Silva, Rafael Bailosis, Randall Echanis, and Vicente Ladlad. The court says they can attend the informal talks on June 22 to 26 and the formal talks from June 27 to 30. This after President Duterte said the government is resuming the discussions with the communist group. The president abandoned the peace talks 8 months ago, citing rebel attacks. But on Thursday, the president said he is talking to CPP founder Jose Maria Sison, and the negotiations may start mid-July. On Friday, Sison insisted both sides should first agree on a stand-down agreement or a halt to offensives. Another setback for Mary Jane Veloso, the Filipina on death row in Indonesia. The Court of Appeals adjunked her bid to be allowed to testify against her recruiters. Our justice correspondent Anjo Alimario talked to Veloso's lawyer and her family about their next move.
3 years ago, the whole country prayed with the family of Mary Jane Veloso, who was supposed to be executed by firing squad for drug trafficking in Indonesia. A last-minute reprieve saved her life, but she's still on death row. She's yet to tell her story on her alleged recruiters who supposedly duped her to smuggle heroin at a Jakarta airport, but the Court of Appeals barred it from happening. The appellate court is firm on its decision not to allow Veloso's deposition in Indonesia, saying this would violate the right of the accused to question her testimony face-to-face. But her lawyer disagrees.
The concrete reality is that the accused in the WCF case, the alleged illegal recruiters, will be able to answer their own questions. And the concrete reality is that the judge will be able to observe and assess for herself the demeanor of the witness, Mary Jane Veloso. So these are all non-issues.
In its ruling, the court said the government should instead convince Indonesia to allow Veloso to testify in Philippine courts. Under the Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters, the government can request from Indonesia to temporarily transfer Veloso to allow her to testify in the country and to return her immediately after the termination of her testimony. But Olalia points out this option has already been considered.
Unfortunately, the Indonesian government did not prefer that kind of arrangement, which is allowed.
Olalia adds that one of the alleged recruiters, Maria Cristina Serio, already cleared Veloso in her counter affidavit she submitted to the Justice Department.
Sinasabi niya si Mary Jane Veloso ay walang kinalaman doon sa pagdadala ng droga.
Mary Jane's mother, Celia Veloso, says they're saddened by this development.
Bakit po ganon? May pag-amin na po si Christina. Kahit ito rin mo nakakalaya si Mary Jane.
Celia recently visited her daughter in Indonesia. She's doing okay, but...
Init na po siya. Dahil siyempre po, tatagal na po niya doon. Alam naman po magawa. Dahil nga po, hindi naman po nila ayaw naman po nila tulungan. Kaya po, init lang siya talaga.
She tells Mary Jane to be strong.
Meron naman daw po Diyos na tutulong sa kanya. Kung ayaw siyang tulungan ng gobyerno, meron naman daw po Diyos na tutulong sa kanya.
Her lawyers are already planning to bring Veloso's fight to the Supreme Court. Celia says she'll visit Mary Jane again in October with the whole family, including her children. Hopeful that she'll bring good news this time around. Anjali Mario, CNN Philippines.
Welcome back. The storm Domeng gets even stronger as it enhances the southwest monsoon. Let's get the latest from our Trisha Terada joining us from the Pag-asa headquarters. Trisha, where is the storm now and how strong are the rains going to be in the next 2 days?
Well, this afternoon, Domeng has intensified into a severe tropical storm because it's now packing winds of 90 kilometers per hour. It's located 640 kilometers east-northeast of Basco, Batanes, with gusts of 115 kilometers per hour. Starting tomorrow, we can expect less rainfalls as Domeng exits the Philippine area of responsibility in the morning. The rains we're experiencing now are actually brought about by Habagat or the southwest monsoon. It's intensified as Domeng gets stronger, getting out of the Philippine area of responsibility, and it's mostly affecting the western section of Luzon. So even if Domeng leaves Par tomorrow, we will still experience occasional rain showers until Monday. Clearer skies can possibly be seen starting Tuesday. As of 5 p.m., Pag-asa raised a code orange heavy rainfall warning over Cavite. This means flooding is threatening the area. The Weather Bureau also raised a code yellow over Metro Manila, Zambales, Bataan, Batangas, Bulacan, Pampanga, Laguna, and Rizal. This brings a possibility of widespread flooding. Meantime, sea travel and activities are still not advised over the eastern seaboards of North Luzon and western seaboards of southern and central Luzon. Mai?
Thank you. That was Trisha Terada reporting to us live from the Pag-asa headquarters.